Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing for the IBF European Super Lightweight title. Presented to you by Izzy Azif and GBM Sports. And we are now live worldwide on the home of boxing, DAZN. Your officials for this contest. Stewards in charge are Matt Verity and Diostino Di Giovanni. Your judges at ringside are John Latham, Reese Carter, and Phil Edwards. Your timekeeper is Anthony Rushton, and your referee in charge of the action, A-star referee Howard Foster. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we salute those about to do battle. Our boxers are ready for action, and our viewers live and exclusively on DAZN are ready for action. Let me ask you, Sheffield, are you ready for action? Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner and wearing the blue with green. He weighed in at 9 stone 13 pounds and 9 ounces. His ring record consists of 19 wins against just 2 defeats, with 5 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He is the fighting pride of Belfast, Ireland, the former WBO European champion. He goes by the name of the public nuisance, McComb! And his opponent across the ring fights out of the blue corner. He wears the white and black shorts and weighed in at 9 stone 13 pounds and 13 ounces. He comes to the ring unbeaten, 14 wins and 1 draw, with 2 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He is the fighting pride of Swansea, Wales. He is the reigning and the defending IBF European Super Lightweight Champion, Ben Crocker!
There is Gary Lockett. What a fighter he was. Won 30 of 32, went in with Kelly Pavlik.
Spoke to you both in the dressing room. You both know what I expect. Keep it clean, drink straight away when told. Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Yep, Lockett, a big puncher with that left hook. Now an astute trainer.
Lockett's rocket.
That's right. Keeps it simple, though, in the corner. And I had a good chat with him last night, and he said, look, if Ben can box and can do what I ask him to and doesn't get too aggressive, makes it more like a chess match, he's got a better chance. Sean McComb has proved himself on the world stage. 2 very good boxers. Who is going to get the edge early?
Yeah, I was there for his 2 fights with Stelios Papadopoulos, Ben Crocker. The first one, an 8-rounder, he won by a point. The second, a 10-rounder, a close win for the belt he walked into the ring with. Now, if he can guarantee one thing, Ben Crocker, he entertains, and I reckon we're going to get a really, really good fight tonight.
McComb was brilliant, wasn't he, against Arnold Barboza Jr., who was undefeated at the time, the big hit, and he was outboxed by McComb, who was robbed of the decision. And I think that's the problem, that the world now know how good he is.
That's it, yeah. I mean, he's moved on from there, and this evening now he's straight on the front foot with that jab. He looks a little bit looser, a little bit more relaxed, and he's straight on the jab.
Just treading on each other's feet, the southpaw, that huge stance of Sean McComb and the orthodox Ben Crocker. Left hand from McComb, who's cute, neat, tidy and quick. You can normally work out what's in front of him.
He's just started off a bit quicker tonight, Adam, getting that jab going, letting a few more shots go. He looks a little bit looser in the top half around his shoulders. Ben Crocker a little bit tighter. But we saw that against Tiernan Bradley in the last one. And in the second half of the fight, that's where he came on strong, and he really didn't want to give that belt up that night. And I'm sure it'll be the same again tonight.
Yeah, Crocker was good second half of that. It was a bit split at ringside, that draw at York Hall. But it was entertaining. Right hand from Crocker. But I agree with you.
What a shot
from Ben Crocker, and down goes McComb inside the first round. What a shot from the Welshman, and what an upset we could have here.
What a
big underdog Ben
lovely
Crocker.
left hook, timed that perfect. McComb with the mounds down, like I said, a little bit too loose in shoulders, and he walked straight onto that one.
Wide open, and down he went. And remember, Gavin Gwynn stopped Sean McComb, and Gwynn, a big mate of Ben Crocker's, he'd have told him one or two things to help with the game plan, but that shot came out of the blue, Oscar.
Yeah, he's a brilliant counterpuncher. He values not getting hit. My first thought about this fight was how Sean McComb would approach it.
Now Crocker's hurt. McComb catches him. 20 seconds left in what started as a bit of a chess match and has suddenly exploded.
Yeah, I wondered how stagnant the first round might be, but it's exploding into life, like you said. Had a brilliant start from Ben Crocker. Sean McComb probably just a tad too relaxed.
Wow. McComb goes back to his corner as if to say, didn't see that one coming. What a shot from Ben Crocker. 10-8 round, even though McComb had his moments as well.
There we see it. Perfectly timed left hook. Bang on the chin. Beautiful shot.
Sonny Edwards in the background there telling Sean McComb to stay down.
And after that, he did rush in and he did get caught himself, I think, with the left hook or the right hand just before the bell went in that far corner.
Only 7 knockouts between the pair, so most of us thought this would be a long, tight affair, but we've had some drama in the opening round, and Gary Lockett would have been proud of that power.
I think he's definitely showed him the Rockets Lockett there.
Well, that will give him so much confidence. Just when we were saying, is McComb relaxed and easing into this, and Crocker a bit uptight, and he found that left hook. Now into the second, the green and black of Sean McComb, the southpaw from Belfast. He's 33 now, 2 years younger is Ben Crocker. Crocker, who's come up the hard way, he's never had it easy, fought away from home a lot. Swansea, we've had Enzo Maccarinelli and one or two others, but it's a tough place to come from and get sparring down there. And as you said, those 2 wins that he had have elevated him, haven't they?
Yeah, he's paid his dues in the professional ring, in the ropes, under the lights, and he's had a brilliant start to this fight. It'll be interesting to see now how Sean McComb brings himself back into this fight. Resets just before he walked out from the corner. He gave himself a little punch on the chin as if to say, wake up, you're better than this, you know you're better than this.
Just left his chin in the air, which was so unlike McComb with his feet. Normally, his legs working so well.
I'd like to think that he'd not underestimated Ben Crocker here. Having boxed at the higher level, you know, as he coming here with that attitude of, well, I've boxed at the higher level, I'm going to get the job done here. And if he has, he's found out the hard way that you can't do that.
Good right hand from Crocker. This is a really decent start for the Welshman. Both have travelled here, so the fans that have come along as well, well done for them. And those in Sheffield who've embraced the whole evening, which has been another good one, a great one for GBM.
Yeah, when you look at this fight and you map out how you think it might play, you look at 4 or 5 different scenarios. Ben Crocker dropping Sean McComb in round 1 was not what I had on my bingo card, but sprung this fight into life now, and Sean's got a job in his hands to turn around that early touch of the canvas.
Again looking for that left hook, Ben Crocker. McComb with a combination, but he's dangerous with that shot.
You can see there, Crocker's opting to go onto the back foot. And again, like Gallagher did earlier, make sure McComb commit, come over that front foot. And he's trying to land that backhand and left hook.
Now, this is smart from Ben Crocker.
There it is again.
Oh, but McComb comes back. Nice work of his own, and that gave him a foothold into this second round.
McComb just wising up there and doubling up his attack. Attack, wait for that counter, then attack again.
Yeah, good jabs now from Sean McComb.
You can hear the corner of McComb saying, don't reach, don't fall in.
Yeah, tough round to score that second. I think the grimaces we just gave each other says enough, Adam. A tight one after the first 10-8 to Ben Crocker.
I thought maybe McComb nicked it, but it was close. It's a really enthralling one, this, in the super lightweight division. Sean McComb, Izzy Asif and the team were saying could be anyone in the world. They're calling him a world champion in waiting. But this Ben Crocker, he's undefeated. The draw against Tiernan and Bradley, but he doesn't know how to lose as a pro. He had hand problems at the start of his career. He turned late, but he's never had anything easy. And you know what? Sometimes that makes you really dangerous. There's no pressure on him.
It sounds like the beginning of my career, that does, Adam.
Well, you've done all right, Maxie.
Yeah, I've done all right. You know, to even be sat here commentating on a fight, I'm pretty impressed with myself.
When are you back?
I'm still waiting. There's no official news yet. I'm now working with Jamie Conlon as my manager, so he's out there working hard and trying to sort a fight out. Hopefully we'll get one before the end of the year. But it is quite nice to come boxing and not be on this side of the ropes, not be taking the punches.
It's great to have you with us.
We know that vengeance is burning inside you, Maxie. We know it's there.
Body shots from Sean McComb. Just looking to up the tempo here. A little bit of damage around the left eye and cheek of Ben Crocker. McComb very accurate when he gets going. He can be very confusing as a southpaw.
I'm delighted with the way this fight is started and sprung into life. Whisper it quietly, but sometimes the stance match-up between the southpaw and orthodox can be a little bit of a wet sponge, but it's been a really enthralling 7 minutes so far.
Who's getting the upper hand? Crocker with a knockdown in the first, but McComb starting to settle into a rhythm. Not a great deal landing.
I think that first round was a bit of a wake-up call for McComb there. Obviously, walking onto that and being put down, it's almost a wake-up call saying, I can't be too relaxed, I can't be too slack here.
I think normally he likes fighters to come onto him, doesn't he? That's another
good
shot from
Crocker.
Crocker. The accuracy from the Welshman's really good, and he's just waiting for McComb to overextend, like Pete Taylor was saying in the corner.
Yeah, he looks sharp. There's a window of about 0.5 of a second, and Ben Crocker's first to the punch.
Quite often as southpaw, as being a southpaw myself, you tend to adopt that counter-punching style. There's not too many aggressive southpaws, so this will be playing on the mind of Sean McComb, that Crocker is the one who's holding back and dropping onto counter.
Good work from McComb. Again, not a lot in this third round. Good defence from Crocker. Nice and tight. McComb just prodding and poking and maybe catching the eye of the judges. Couple of rounds that are difficult to score.
He's intent on landing to the mid-range of Ben Crocker.
Just might have been a bit busier. McComb again raises his hand aloft. I think Alex has got Irish Tiernan Bradley, former opponent of Ben Crocker, with him.
Delighted to be joined by Tiernan Bradley, former opponent of Ben Crocker. What are you making of this one so far?
Yeah, fantastic fight.
I think Sean just got a little bit complacent in the first round. But he's evolving here. He's coming forward, putting the pressure on. He's doing the work. Ben's getting the eye-catching shots. But yeah, just it's up to the judges who they think's what they have in their head about who's gonna, you know what I mean. Like who do they think's gonna take control of the fight now? Like Sean, he's putting the pressure on. Ben's backing off, waiting for that counterpunch. Yeah, look, the second half of the fight's gonna be interesting. Looking forward to it. Brilliant, thanks Tiernan.
Really well summed up there, I thought, by Tiernan Bradley. It's a close fight. Crocker with a 10-8 round. Maybe McComb has just nicked the last couple to level it up. But it's what the judges like. And, of course, Tiernan fought Ben Crocker to that draw. Who did you think won that night?
I think the draw were actually a fair result. You know, Tiernan definitely started and took the first half at fight. But, again, Crocker dug in and said, I don't want to let my belt go.
Tiernan for me.
Yeah, I thought Tiernan maybe just nicked it, but Gary was saying to me, Gary Lockett, that it was 5 apiece. A draw is what it was. Tiernan Bradley, I'm sure, would like a crack at the winner of this. Remember, Ben Crocker does have this IBF European belt, so he is the champion, but the home fighter really is Sean McComb. He's the GBM golden boy, the one that Izzy Asif believes will go on to become a world champion, but he had to get up off the floor in the first round of this. He's back in it though.
Yeah, and there's real value in these governing body trinkets as well. I know the IBF are quite stringent, quite strict. If you're in the right place, the chances of you getting a big fight, getting the title shot are high. So these IBF Europeans, your international belts, your intercontinental belts, they're worth their weight.
Out of range there, Crocker. Not really landing much. McComb maybe just 1 or 2 more, but it's nip and tuck, Maxie.
Very nip and tuck. You can see McComb's the one trying there. He's prodding that jab out. Crocker might just be waiting a little bit too long. You know, if you're just waiting for that counter, you know, the judges might say, and I think, well, he's not forcing it, he's just waiting. You know, again there, as we're seeing, he's jabbing downstairs, is McComb. He's the one at the minute who's forcing it.
Yep, nice southpaw jab from McComb. Trying to back up Crocker now, taking some of these on his gloves, but certainly the volume from Sean McComb as the pair of them open up. Inside the last minute of the 4th round of what's been a really tense boxing affair, despite the early drama of the Crocker 10-8 knockdown of McComb. It's settled into, well, the chess match that we thought it was before the knockdown.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a bit too much patience from Ben Crocker. There was the success early on in the fight, and you want to build on that success. I'm just wondering if there's a little bit too much patience maybe from the Welshman.
Yeah, McComb looks busier, and that might just be catching the eye of the judges. Not a great deal of quality clean shots landed in this round, but he's definitely the aggressor.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Ben Crocker's fearful, but he's wary of that left hand of Sean McComb.
Again, in them close rounds, you have to sort of, in my opinion, you have to go with the fighter that is the one who's forcing it, who's trying things and trying to take the fight by its scruff at neck.
I thought that with Paddy Donovan in Belfast at the back end of the fight. I thought he was doing far more than Lewis Crocker, who had the 2 10-8 rounds and maybe had the bigger shots as well in the fight. But the rhythm then went to Donovan. But it's a case of what you like. And Sonny said on commentary, the big shots of Crocker might nick it. For me, it was Donovan, but it's subjective, really.
Yeah, and again, I remember listening, and I was in agreement with you, Adam. I thought Donovan's the one who's trying to get in a rhythm. He's constantly jabbing. You know, like I say, Crocker had those 2 knockdowns, which, you know, it don't win you the fight, but the judges appeared they liked his bigger shots, the more eye-catching shots.
I think sometimes you can have a predetermined feel in your head too, the style and the way that Paddy Donovan fights. It feels like sometimes he perhaps doesn't have to do as much to get a tick on the judges' scorecard, but yeah, a really interesting fight that was to score, and I don't envy being a judge for this one tonight.
No, not at all. McComb might be in a slight lead, but it's close. Crocker with the knockdown in the first round, trying that left hook again as McComb comes in. But he's settled much better now, the man from Belfast.
Crocker's now got to try and break that rhythm in the corner. And I can see he wants to drop on top counter and wait, but a good exchange here.
Yeah, I like them car crash type exchanges, both men flying forward, lunging in shots at the same time.
Neither's really wrestled control of this. That was better from McComb with a body shot, but he just looks like the more rhythmic fighter, the more polished boxer. And Crocker, good in spurts, but really not doing enough.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're the judge, you're looking at the one that, again, McComb there is going forward, he's jabbing, he's up and down, he's letting him go. You can see the old classic southpaw off of that battle of the front foot's going off as well.
Maybe he'll be hoping McComb's legs tire second half of this and he'll be able to get a couple of those crisp shots on. I wonder if we'll get a couple of knockdowns from Crocker and round one, in our eyes, by McComb, and it might be another close one.
That's it, yeah. Won't have to be a judge on it.
Good use of the backhand from Sean McComb. He was an elite amateur. He's won 19 of 21 as a pro. Crocker just waiting off the game.
Now, I think he needs to bring something new to the table, Ben Crocker. I'd understand the hesitancy if there was success that followed, but for about 2 or 3 rounds now, that hesitancy hasn't really got him anywhere. It hasn't really landed anything of note on Sean McComb.
Yeah, good work from McComb again. Body and head, doing more.
Again, that exchange there alone, I think that'll win him this round there as this round comes to an end.
I think Gary might just be ingrained in the fact that, look, don't rue this opportunity. There's chances there. Don't be too hesitant. Don't wait for too long. Because Sean McComb is not an unmissable target in this fight. We saw that early on. We saw that in round 1.
Saturday, October the 4th, Perry and Stevens, don't miss that.
10 seconds, corners.
Also in Glasgow, Nathaniel Collins returns. Really good fighter. Southpaw like Maxi and like Sean McComb, who just seems to be doing that little bit more round after round. Could be a couple up despite the dodgy beginning when he was floored by a left hook from Ben Crocker. Crocker looking for victory number 15. Formerly of the Premier ABC. Was in combat sports as a kid. Didn't turn till 27. McComb's been around since 2018, won his first 11 until he walked into Gavin Gwynn, who's looking for that rematch with Cameron Vyong. Gary Lockett has him and Joe Cordina revived as well, training down there now. So Swansea, Cardiff coming again, Lauren Price of course. And I think I'm hearing Enzo Macronelli has a couple down there too.
I thought he was about to tell me Enzo's making a comeback.
Surely not. He's always in great nick though, isn't he? What an exciting fighter he was.
I don't think he stopped training as Endo. I think he always has to do a little bit every day.
Nice down on the Gower, down the Mumbles way.
Sorry, was that Welsh?
I swear, technically I am half Welsh. My dad is Welsh, yeah. Yes, boys.
Well, McComb's definitely from Belfast, and Ben Crocker is definitely a Swansea man through and through. And they've got support here. Gary Lockett just trying to get Ben Crocker to do more, rev it up a bit.
I think it's too comfortable for Sean McComb at the moment. I don't think he's really had to think outside the box for the last 6 to 9 minutes of this fight.
Yeah, just controlling it with that southpaw jab. Hands are quick. Looks comfortable now, Sean McComb. And that is a real problem for Crocker. Again, more work.
At this point against Bradley, where he really started to put the foot down and grab hold of the fight, and he's not started doing that. If anything, McComb's getting into a bit more of a rhythm here, letting a few more shots go. Again, catching him with his eyes, picking up the rounds.
Well, he's beginning to show the class that he used against Barboza and others. He's a very, very good fighter, Sean McComb.
Yeah, he's got that jab's working brilliant for him tonight. It's quick, it's coming from low. It's a quick, snappy jab.
That's what Crocker's got to do, Oscar. Rough him up a bit, McComb.
Yeah, come forward with intent. I know Sean McComb wants Ben Crocker over the front foot, but he's got to commit to those attacks.
The aggressor McComb, maybe not what we thought before the fight. He raises his hand again. I wonder how happy his promoter is. Izzy is with Alex.
Izzy, how are you scoring it so far?
Very close. Obviously, Ben got a knockout early doors. I believe Sean's getting into the rhythm, but listen, it might be one way round either way. The next 4 rounds are going to define this fight.
I think that first round surprised everyone.
Yeah, I think caught him a bit cold, but he's got to be switched on. I always said in the build-up, Ben Crocker can punch. So Sean's got to be switched on. If he gets his rhythm, I fancy Sean to take it, but there's not much in it whatsoever.
Cheers, Izzy.
Izzy thinks it's close. Have you got McComb up?
I've got McComb up, yeah. He's pretty much winning every round other than the first one, which he were not down in. He's picking up that jab. Crocker's got to take that jab away from him and get a foothold in fight.
Is he saying about Ben Crocker's power? He's only got 2 knockouts on the record. Had to go the distance, didn't he? The last few, and he needs something to turn this around. Maybe a bit more aggression. Try and back McComb up, because at the moment McComb is just sort of dancing around and utilising his southpaw jab effectively.
Yeah, I hope the corner have given him. I hope the corner have given him a good shake, Ben Crocker, because like I said earlier, he values not getting hit. He's a good counter puncher, but that is not what's going to win in this fight. He needs to swing this fight back into his favour. So it'll be interesting to see what he does to try and do that.
On the edge, they call this show. Sean McComb hoping to win this belt and stamp his authority and create maybe a world title opportunity in 2026. The division packed with talent. Dalton Smith is going to get his shot very soon for the WBC bout. That's better for Crocker. Can one of these two take this fight by the scruff of the neck and try and get in that argument? The super lightweight division always been red hot. Of course, that was Ricky Hatton's and Junior Witter, great 10-stoners we've had in the past. Who can go forward? McComb, for me, just looks like he's got a bit more pedigree, just that edge in class, Maxi.
Yeah, he's the one who's settling into it better. No, he's more letting his hands go a lot more. Crocker's got it. He's got to take that jab away, win a bit more with it. He's got to commit. He can't wait all night for that perfect shot, because it won't be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Ben Crocker take a step to the left. Just when that first jab comes in, it's almost like a setup. Normally that jab's followed by a straight left hand from Sean McComb. I wouldn't mind seeing Ben Crocker move to the left, probably throw a hook, throw to the body, throw upstairs.
Well, we saw how Tyson Gallagher dealt with the southpaw in Ellie Hallowell, and she was moving beautifully, wasn't she, clockwise, away from that left hand. And he's not really moving like that, Crocker. He's pretty stationary.
He is. He's just took 3 jabs onto there. Just before that, he did land a right hand, and I can hear Gary from the corner shouting, "Go again." So they're asking for that second phase. There it were again. Much better. Oh, he has listened to the corner there, right on cue.
Yeah, good work from Crocker. When McComb's open, he's landing those shots. And maybe that will catch the eye of the judges. They're the heavier shots, but then again, McComb back to the jab and just doing that bit more over the 3 minutes. Could be what you like in this round.
Yeah, judging's as simple as judging what you see, but what we're seeing at the moment is some really close and really tight rounds between the pair. I do think Sean McComb is in control, but I still don't think there's too much in between them in terms of what's being landed, in terms of the volume of successful shots. But I know that the McComb corner will be the happier of the two as we go in towards the 8th.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this bumper night in Sheffield, live on the zone, start to finish. There's been great action, some knockouts, some standout performances, I thought, particularly from Tycee Gallagher and Shaquille Thompson. Gradis Krause as well, looking the part again over 6 rounds. And here's Sean McComb. 9 minutes left against Ben Crocker. McComb, the challenger for this IBF European belt. Is he up? I think we think so.
I think yes. I think you'd have to have him up at the moment, bar the disastrous start really to the fight. Sean McComb is in control, but again, they're close rounds. Ben Crocker needs to do just a little bit more. If he'd have done a little bit more, he could have won 6-7, 6-7, sorry, and going into 8 now. There's definitely something still in this for Ben Crocker. I just need to see a little bit more and definitely a lot less hesitation.
Both great guys out of the ring, a lot of respect in the under the spotlight. Great work from McComb there, heads bumping together, but he did well. They're just looking to see if there's any damage. Howard Foster, I think fortunately not. That didn't look pretty, but McComb got a couple of shots off. Crocker just seems to be waiting too long to pull the trigger.
That's it, he's letting Sean McComb dictate this fight with his jab, and you know, this carries on, he's going to have got the win pretty much just on his jab. Again, he has fired a lot of them downstairs as well, that long backhand, solar plexus, good scoring shot.
And that's what it is, it's almost like an amateur style, isn't it, tonight from Sean McComb? He's just pot-shotting and finding gaps. And Crocker just needs combinations. There haven't been many.
No, he's got to put his foot down more. You can see that pedigree of why Sean McComb were a very good amateur. You can see it there. Good fundamentals, good footwork, good balance.
Yeah, you don't get a bronze at the European Games if your basics aren't on point. I just want to see Ben Crocker throw some caution to the wind. He's walked into the ring with that IBF trinket, and if he wants to leave with it, he's going to have to do something in these last 7 minutes.
Also, are either of these making a real statement on the world division? It's a tough one out there, and you just feel if they can get this by the scruff of the neck and really sparkle in these last couple of rounds.
So make the claim on this division.
Yeah, unfortunately for Sean McComb, his claim on the division was awarded in the wrong direction, beating Arnold Barbosa, who then himself beat Jose Ramirez and Jack Catchell on these shores before losing in a good fight with Teofimo Lopez. He's made his world statement. It didn't go his way. Now time to make another. He's been very comfortable tonight. He hasn't really had to make too much of a statement, bar climbing off the canvas inside the first round.
Gary's very cool in the corner, but just getting a little more agitated. I think he feels that Ben Crocker might be throwing this away, and that he's got more in the tank. We saw it in the first couple of rounds. There's flashes of what he can do, but he's not sustaining it.
No, you can hear Gary calling it for that second attack. You caught him with a good shot, you broke his rhythm, then go again, and then you take over, let it become your rhythm.
And he's defending an unbeaten record, remember that as well. Never lost as a professional since he turned 4 years ago, Ben Crocker. This was always a step up in level, and Sean McComb at times has given him a bit of a boxing lesson. Nothing too dramatic, just neat and tidy, pure skills.
Basically, with jab at him, innit?
Yeah.
Jab and good feet.
Yep, and the backhand downstairs to the body, good feet. Yep, Crocker's legs just haven't responded in the same way. And after that rather dramatic start, it's just sort of settled down into the same pattern. And you just wonder why Crocker's not trying to back McComb up, throw some combinations to the body.
Yeah, I don't want to be too harsh on Ben Crocker. He's worked his way into a position where he's, like I said, holding this IBF belt, but bar the first 2 rounds, it's been a little bit like a bit of a text bar for Sean McComb. It hasn't been too difficult. I really want to see him throw some caution to the wind. Lovely left hand from Sean McComb.
Yep, both of them opening up there. I just want to see a couple of risks. Roll the dice, Ben Crocker. I think McComb, one of you mentioned it, was woken up by the knockdown. And I think he's been boxing really sensibly behind that jab. Not letting Crocker near him enough.
No, I think Crocker's let him get away with that early knockdown. He let him recover, and he let him get a foot back holding fight.
Still open at times, McComb, so there is that possibility of another crunching shot from Crocker, but he's only got 4 minutes to find it. And even if he gets another knockdown, he might not win it.
I mean, he was standing square on there, Sean McComb. He's lucky, really, he got clipped with a shot from Ben Crocker on the chin, but just kind of backed up on his heels a touch. But again, we want to see attacks follow that up. Sean McComb's on his heels. Pressure.
Well, we always figured it would be a technical match, these two. So much at stake. Main event, live on the zone. Which one of them can move forwards into world class? At the moment, Sean McComb is boxing his way home.
Absolutely there. We've just seen him with his back to us, pull off the check hook, and now back out of danger.
I mean, he's a lovely southpaw to watch at times, isn't he, Maxie? And you are the same. It must be lovely for you to watch that from this side of the ropes.
Yeah, seeing the skills, his good feet work, good jab, doing the basic fundamentals right. People who can do them right always have a good chance of going through the levels and up the game.
Do you think he can go on, McComb, and trouble the world's elites?
Well, again, he's shown he can compete with the likes of Arnold Barbosa. He didn't get the decision there, you know, obviously the controversy. He's shown he can perform at that. You know, well, the other guys, you've got Teofimo Lopez, who's talked to Shakur Stevenson going up. You know, there's not many better southpaws who can do it like that.
This is a brilliant matchup. Parker Wardley, Saturday, October the 25th at the brilliant O2 Arena, which has seen some heavyweight dust-ups in the past. Former world champion in the form of his life under Andy Lee, Fabio Wardley, undefeated and maybe one of the biggest punchers in boxing. So stand by for that in a month's time. Final round of this. It's Ben Crocker's IBF European belt on the line. He's never lost, remember, but he's got to be losing this against Sean McComb, who's boxed really well since the knockdown. You could have given Crocker 1 or 2 other rounds, but McComb surely in a handy lead.
Yeah, he's navigated anything that Ben Crocker has thrown at him, and when I say thrown at him, that hasn't really been too much of note. It's been quite comfortable, but we've got 2 minutes 20 left on the clock now, and it's time for Ben Crocker to do all he can to make sure he walks home with the belt he walked into this arena with.
I think he'll look back at this, Ben Crocker, and kick himself and think, why didn't I just go for it a bit earlier? Yeah. There's been times where those combinations have come and McComb has been open, but he just hasn't sustained the attacks.
He's not put his foot down now. He's not gone in with that second attack. He had a bit of a go there, but you know, he's nullified now with the clinch, and McComb here will come back on jab. And for me, it's his to lose now, McComb. You know, I've got him way ahead. As long as he finishes the fight on his feet now, I think it's his.
Another good backhand. Beautiful boxing from McComb. How does he do against the likes of Adam Azim and Dalton Smith?
Well, we've seen what he can do when he mixes it at the elite level. Some fighters play to the level that they're at. You put him in front of an elite fighter and you might get a different Sean McComb to the one that we're seeing in front of us. He's very aesthetically pleasing on the eye, I will say, not just because we're joined by a southpaw, but there's something about a southpaw straight shot that's very pleasing on the eye. I think he can mix it at that level, perhaps not made the statement he would have wanted to tonight, but again, I'll reiterate, he hasn't had to make the statement because it's been so comfortable.
Yep, he has been a bit inactive. He had that 6-rounder, and now this was the sort of mini test, I guess. And Izzy Assif's been very big on Sean McComb, believes he's a really talented fighter who can go on to become a world champion. I'm not sure we know on this performance. What we do know is he's a lovely southpaw boxer, and he's ticked off the rounds, and he's done well to come back off the knockdown and establish himself here. So it's a really good night for him.
Absolutely right. That knockdown at first, he did go down heavy there, and he got back up quick, and you know he got straight back on his jab, and he didn't show no effects of it after that, and he got a foothold.
I think if anything, he's boxing even better now as the rounds go on, and Crocker can't really live with him.
Yeah, I think one thing is evident. If you're going to fight Sean McComb, if your plan A doesn't work, you don't just need a B, you need a C and D. So, and I don't think Ben Crocker had that tonight, but Sean McComb will be very happy. He will win. Big respect between the two. Ben Crocker takes the applause. I think Gary Lockett knows. For us, it's Sean McComb, and Sean McComb fairly wide. The rounds, some of them were close, and Crocker had his moments, but just, I think, class told in the end. The southpaw skills of the public nuisance. And he believes he wins it handily, and so do we. Yeah, fair play to the mob from Cardiff just behind us. They brought some numbers to Essex for the fights I mentioned against Stelios, and they've turned up in some numbers and made some noise for their man today, but I think tonight belongs to Sean McComb. Unfinished business. Eubank Jr. against Conor Benn 2. It's the rematch. One of the best scraps you will ever see happen in April. And on November the 15th, exclusively on DAZN, they meet again. More twists and turns in that build-up, no doubt. Only a few weeks to go. What an autumn and winter period we've got live on DAZN, week after week. Great fight nights coming your way. And it's been another good one tonight. A very honest, professional chess match, tactical battle between two good fighters. I think what happened tonight was just the extra elite amateur skills and the southpaw style of Sean McComb. Just a little level above. Not much, but a bit. That's what's brought him through tonight. That southpaw jab pretty much won it. But again, very high pedigree as an amateur. He's boxed at a bit higher level as a pro, and that's shown tonight. He got a foothold in the fight.
He dictated the rhythm and he fought his fight.
Well, the cards have been totted up. I think Aki has got the decision. I would have thought it's a formality. You never know. For us, it's McComb by 4, 5, 6, that sort of margin. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give both of these boxers in our main event a huge ovation. After 10 rounds of championship boxing, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges scored this contest the same. 96 points to 93 points in favor of your winner. And new IBF European Super Lightweight Champion from Ireland, the public nuisance, Sean McComb.
Sean McComb gets his big win. The IBF European belt is his.